Okay, 1/2 times our bases added together, base 1 plus base 2
So are you gonna pause it?
times our height. No, it's rolling right now. Go. Just like in our Pythagorean theorem, you know how we had a squared plus b squared equals c squared? And it didn't really matter which one was a and which one was b. Same thing here, it doesn't really matter which one is considered base 1 and base 2, just make sure you're adding them together. Everything else is multiplied, but the bases get added, okay? If you like the divide by 2, this is the same formula as base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2.
What?
It says the exact same thing. Same formula, just looks a bit different. Okay, so if we look at Nevada, which two numbers are my bases?
205 and 511.
205 and 511. Those two, they're parallel, they don't touch. So when I look at my formula, we have 1/2 times, add those two together, times, what is the height?
309.
309. So the height is the distance in between those bases. And then we're literally just throwing it in a calculator. Again, make sure that you're either putting parentheses around this addition or that you're doing that first and then timesing. Either way, just make sure you're not multiplying them together so you get a huge number. I got 110622. Is that what you guys got?
Yeah.
Okay. And then our label, we're in miles, since it's area squared. Okay. Questions on that one? Okay. Here, what are the two numbers for my bases?
16 and 12.
16 and 12, and then what's my height?
4.5.
4.5. So I got 1/2 times our bases added together times by our height.
You get 63.
Good. What's my label? 63 what?
Feet squared.
Good.
Wait, I have a question.
Yep.
So like, what if there isn't two bases?
There's always two bases.
Well, what if?
Yeah, but like on these last three, there is, well, the two of them, there isn't a second.
You can find it. Promise. That's what we're gonna do. Right here.
She said the Pythagorean theorem.
Yes. Also better or worse. Good stuff to come. Okay. So, when you have your trapezoids, you need three things. You need two bases and a height. In this next problem, what do I have? What am I given?
Your base 1 and
Mhm.
your height.
Yeah, I have one of my bases is 10. The height is 5. Okay? So I need to find this bottom base. Okay. You'll notice that these two sides are marked with little dashes. What do those dashes mean?
They're equivalent.
Ooh, what a
Right.
word. They're equivalent. They're equal. Okay? So this side length is the same as this side length. They're equal. So if this angle is 45, guess what this angle is?
45.
45. So what you're telling me is that, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle.
Sophia, don't use Sophia on this.
Yeah, don't use Sophie-toe. I mean, you can if you want, but we need to find this bottom side. So if this is 45 degrees and this height is 5, what's this bottom side length?
5.
5.
Okay.
And we said that it's the same thing over here because they're equal, so this bottom length is 5. What is this missing squiggly green gap? Ooh,
10.
10, because it's the same as above. So, what is that entire base? 20. This entire thing is 20. Questions on how we got that 20? None? Okay. So for our area, we have half times our bases add together, 10 and 20, times by our height, which is 5. What do you guys get there?
75
75, and then what's our label?
meters squared.
Meters squared. Good.
Wait, how do you know if it's meters squared or meters cubed?
Cubed is volume. That'll be our next chapter.
Okay.
Area squared. Okay, real quick, it doesn't ask for this, but I just want, we're gonna do some of this tomorrow, so let's put it in our notes. In our 45-45, I can find the length of my hypotenuse. Do you guys remember how to find the length of my hypotenuse?
Multiply it by the square root of
Good. So take our leg 5 times the square root of 2. So this is 5 square root of 2, which means this one, we said they're the same, is also 5 square root of 2.
Wait, do we have to use that information to solve the question?
Well, let's find the area, but tomorrow you're gonna have to find perimeter. So I thought we'd do one. So we're gonna find the perimeter. B. Okay. To find our perimeter is the outside, we add those up together. So I have a side that's 10 and 20, how much does that give me?
30.
30. Plus, I have a side that's 5 square root of 2 and 5 square root of 2, so how much square root of 2?
10.
10 squared
10 square root of 2. Okay, something very common is that people think this is 40 square root of 2.
Incorrect.
What's really happening is that this is like 10 times the square root of 2. And if you think about your PEMDAS, you have to multiply before you can add. So if we just throw this in a calculator and take 10 times the square root of 2, we get 14.14. And then add 30 to that. This is 44 point, let's just go 1.
I have a question.
Yep.
So do you round it to the nearest 10?
Yeah, I did this time.
If it's like 0.9 and like the next one's like above 5, you just put it to the next one.
Yeah. And there'll be instructions tomorrow on how to round, I think they're all do the 10, so. Okay. Question so far? We're feeling okay. Julian! Do you have any of this written down?
Yes, all of it actually.
What's in your hand?
No, but if
On my phone.
Why?
If I have my phone,
Because I have it written down.
No. Where do I?
that's messed up, it is.
Dude, Colin's not doing
If the
this.
roles were reversed.
Colin is just absorbing it mentally, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do.
Alright, in this problem, like I said, travelers need 3 things, base, height. What do I have?
Your base, and that's it.
And that's it. I don't have my height, I don't have my other base, I just have the 7. Well, if you fancy this, we got a 60-degree angle here.
Oh, it's a 30-60.
Oh, what's a 30-60? In this little triangle, we have a 30-60-90. Go pick that up. And what's labeled at 4 is our hypotenuse. Yes, this is what. So to find the short leg on the bottom, what do I do for my hypotenuse?
10. Divided by 2.
Divide it by 2, so how big is this little dude?
2 meters.
2. So that's my short leg. To go from my short leg to my long leg, my height, what do I do?
Is it like square root of 3?
Yes, how much square root of 3?
At square root of
What's x?
3. 2.
2. So our height is 2. square roots of 3. So that's our height. How much is my other base?
7 meters.
Oh, it's 9.
9 meters.
9. How do we get 9?
Because 2 plus 7 is 9.
Yeah, this little part that's missing is 7 plus our 2, so this whole thing is 9. So now can we fill out our area formula?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
we sure
wait,
can.
but don't you have to like simplify the 2 square roots of 3 first?
This says leave your answer in simplest radical form. Tomorrow, since we can't put radicals in, we'll probably just multiply it out. So we'll do it both ways. First, let's do it where we leave the square root.
Okay.
So our area, we have 1/2 times our bases added together, 7 and 9, times our height, we said is 2 square roots of 3. So, kind of how I do this is I just ignore the square roots of 3 and put it on at the end. What?
Where's the square root button on the calculator?
Well, hold on. So, if you ignore the square root of 3, I believe we get 16 with the other stuff, right? This half times 16 times 2.
Yeah, you get 16.
So this is 16 square roots of 3.
What? I didn't get that.
That's because you put it in a calculator. I said not to do, but it's fine. So then if you take 16 times the square root of 3, you get about 27.7. And what are we, meters squared? So again, if I asked you for the perimeter, we would take 9 plus 4 plus 7, so what is that, 20? And then how much is this side?
9 plus 4 plus 7 is 9.
2 square roots of 3.
What is 9 plus 4 plus 7 then?
Never mind.
Yeah, it's 20, isn't it? Nah, shade. You said this is what, Eric?
2 square roots of 3.
Yeah, 2 square root, that's our height. So our perimeter, I know it doesn't ask, but it would be 20 plus 2 square roots of 3. We're not gonna put that in the calculator because we're gonna move on. We got stuff to do. Okay, questions on that one? Malachi! Far away.
It's a baby cereal.
Yeah, I know, see this. Okay, in my last trapezoid, what of my 3 things do I have?
2 bases.
I have 2 bases, so I don't have my height.
No.
So we need to find this height.
Yes.
But
But what?
Oh, you can use Sokotoa.
that's not normal triangle.
We have this little triangle. Jasmine, why do you say Sokotoa and not our 30, 60, or 45, 45?
Because it's a 50.
Oh, that's the
She
50.
asked Jasmine. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Because
I'm just glad
I thought
I'm
this was
not-
a class discussion.
Oh, right. Do I have any sides in my triangle?
4 meters.
You have the opposite, which would be 30, not 30, 40 degrees, right? Oh, you said sides. Oh,
Sides.
What? We're talking about the angles.
That's,
No, talking about them sides.
You have no sides.
I don't have any sides.
You have no-
That's a problem. I need to have at least one side.
Well, you have the 12.
Make up a number.
Make up a number. Great. Let's not do that.
Wait, I have a question real quick.
There isn't.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is 12 like the whole bottom? or-
12 is the whole bottom.
Oh, okay, I know.
So you got a thing, yeah.
4.
So then the side is 4
How did you get it?
because 12 minus 8 is 4.
Yeah. 12 is the whole thing. Subtract out the 8. Subtract out the 8. We are left with 4 here. You said to find the area. We had both of our bases. We just needed our height. So am I trying to find my hypotenuse or this straight up and down leg?
Down.
This straight up and down. This is what we're looking for. Okay. Spoiler alert. It's a 50 degrees, so as the people said, we're using SOHCAHTOA. Am I using SOHCAH or TOA?
Toa.
TOA, because X is opposite, 4 is adjacent.
Yeah.
So we're taking the tan
All 50.
of 50 equals, how does my fraction look?
X over 4.
Good.
So
So
then
times
you
are by
would
4.
times
So, yep, take tan 50
times
and then
4.
times 4.
4.8 if we're rounding.
Okay, 4.8.
Yeah.
So our height, I'm gonna write 4.8.
I got 4.9.
7.6.
We're rounding.
So then when we plug in our formula, we have half times our bases add together, 8 and 12, right? Times our height of 4.8. So 48, right? 20, half 20 is 10, 10 times 4.8, yeah. This doesn't have units, so we'll just leave it as 48. If you really care, it's really just units squared, but it's not labeled, so 48 is fine. Who's talking so loud?
It's probably, you got your stuff recorded, so.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot.
okay, questions on our trapezoids?
No.
Okay, if you ask me, kites and rhombuses are a little bit easier. Maybe don't ask me, I don't know. If you remember from, I think we did it when we got back from Christmas or winter break. A rhombus, all of your sides are the same, and in the middle we have 90s. Oh, missed that. The lines, the dashes that go through are your diagonals, and in a rhombus, the diagonals bisect. So that means this half is the same as this half, and this half is the same as this half. The two lines themselves are not the same, but the halves are the same. Does that make sense?
No.
Yes, no.
So if this is 3, this is 3, but that doesn't mean that this is 3. This may be 2, and this is 2. So these halves are the same, and these halves are the same, but the whole diagonals themselves aren't the same.
Okay.
Kite, what a kite is, are the two sides next to each other are the same. So these two sides are the same, and these two sides are the same. Our diagonals, hopefully you can tell the diagonals aren't the same. These also, you have 90s in the middle. And then the diagonal that splits the sides that aren't the same, this diagonal gets bisected. So the halves are the same. The other one, like I said, you can kind of tell if this red dash line is not the same. This half is not the same as that half. So they're not halves, but whatever. Okay, so our formula for both of those shapes, all we're doing is we're taking half times one diagonal times the other diagonal. Again, doesn't matter which one is diagonal 1, diagonal 2. Or if you want it the other way, d1 times d2 divided by 2. Those say the same thing. Do you know him? Do you need something? Adam, did you need something?
No.
Oh, okay. Bye. Okay, so here we have our rhombus. So if this little chunk is 13.5, how much is this chunk?
14.5.
How about 13.5?
No, you
14.5?
said. Oh, I said 13.5.
I don't think you did, but
I
that's
think you
okay.
might need your ears checked.
I think we should maybe watch the video back. I'll prove to you didn't, but that's fine. Anyway, so what is this whole entire diagonal?
13.5.
27.
That's what I was going for, 27.
But you're gonna half it either way.
We'll take a half at the end, yeah. But you can't take a half twice.
30.
This other diagonal is, what'd you say?
30.
30.
Wait, I have a question.
Yep.
You get the same answer if you just do 13.5 times 15.
No, because you're halving it twice. You know what I mean? You're taking half of this, if you do 13.5 times 15. And you only half once. No, the answer is just no. Does that help?
Yeah.
So if we multiply these, our area, I got 405, is that what you got?
Yep.
Good deal. Feet squared. Leave her alone.
It's okay, Dennis.
Questions there?
Nope.
Okay. Here we know this little chunk is 7, so how much is this whole entire diagonal?
14.
14. So I have half times 14. Do I know my other diagonal?
No, but you know the degrees,
We know that we have 30 here. I'm gonna make this bigger.
so you're gonna still get.
So this is 30. This is 7. This is this little triangle right here. Do I want to find my hypotenuse?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, no.
No.
You need.
Why are you raising your hand?
No, she's talking while she raises her
Wait,
hand.
no, I know how to do it.
What? What do we do?
Wouldn't it be a 30, 60, 90?
Yep, 30, 60, 90.
So then.
So do I want my hypotenuse or this leg?
Opposite.
The leg.
Adjacent.
How do I find it?
Tangent.
No. It's 7 square roots of 3.
There we go. 7 squared is 3.
Oh.
They're a long leg. So if that's just this chunk, remember this little triangle. So how much is my whole entire diagonal?
14 square root of 3.
Good. 14 square roots of 3. Again, what I would do is I would multiply this stuff and leave out square root of 3. So 7 times 14. So 98 square roots of 3. And then, like I said, tomorrow, since it's a Google form, we're gonna have to multiply that by the square root of 3. I get 169.7. What are we, yards? Yards squared. Questions on that one? Colin, have you written anything down?
Yeah.
Great.
His name.
On the second page of the.
Let's skip this one.
Okay. Is there a reason why we're skipping it? Is it because it's too hard, or you just?
No, you can do it. It's literally just like this one. If you want to do it, you can. Okay. This rhombus, how much is that whole diagonal?
14.
14. So we have half times 14 times. Is this other diagonal 16? No. Is it 14?
Yeah.
Are the diagonals the same?
No.
No. Guess what? Jasmine's friend. We have two sides of a triangle. Missing another one. Of a right triangle. We need to find this.
Are you? I'm not. It's we're using the Pythagorean.
Sure are. Pythagorean theorem. When you set up Pythagorean theorem, remember the two that get added together are the two that make the right angle. So we have x squared plus 7 squared equals that 8 squared, our hypotenuse. 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. Do I square root? Or what do I do next?
You subtract.
Subtract. And what do you get when you subtract?
15.
Then what?
You square root.
Then we square root. I got 3.9.
Are you good?
Good. Glad you did it.
And then-
So does that mean my whole diagonal is 3.9?
No.
No, what do I have to do to that?
Times it by 2.
Yeah, 3.9 times 2 is 7.8. So if we take 7.8 times 7, 54.6 centimeters squared.
I thought you were doing that on purpose.
Here's a fun one. Let's do the perimeter of this rhombus.
Didn't you just rerun this one?
The perimeter, not the area.
Oh, this is gonna be easy. 7 plus 7 plus
Hold on. What are the side lengths of my rhombus?
7,
Here. The side, not the diagonal. What's the side length?
8.
8. What do we know about all the sides of a rhombus?
They're equal.
They're equal. So what's my perimeter?
32.
That's a times, not a point. That was a fun fact. Anyway. Okay, 2 more, then we're done. Same formula for kites. Oh my god, what just happened? That's okay. This one's pretty easy. Half times, what's one of my diagonals?
4,
Whole thing.
16.
That's a diagonal.
16. What?
That's a diagonal.
That's a diagonal. What do you mean that's a diagonal?
18.
The other one's 18. 8 times 18.
I guess-
12 plus 4.
Oh.
The other one's 9 plus 9. 144. 8 squared. And the last one. Do I know one of my entire diagonals?
Yes.
Yeah, how much is it? 9.5, that's 9.5, so you have half times 9.5 times, we have our friend again. Top angle's 30, so our short leg's 2.5. Don't care about my hypotenuse. How do I find my long leg, or what is it? If my short leg's 2.5, my long leg is,
5.
our hypotenuse is 5.
2.5 square root of 3.
There we go. So what's the entire diagonal? How much square root of 3? 5 square root of 3. So let's just do that. Half of 9.5 and 5. 23.75 square roots of 3. So if you want the decimal version of that, 41.1 yards squared. Area always squared.